Welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna hit another important topic. Should I fight and move around, or should I stand my ground and brawl?
Yeah, so it all depends on what your goal is. If you want to move, you want to get out of the fight, safe, without any injuries, you want to move around. But if you're trying to impress a crowd, then you brawl. But me, what I would advise you two to do as well, you guys to do as well, is to move around, use your movement. You don't want to get, especially if you're fighting kind of the lower levels and the amateurs, or you're fighting in the street, it's not worth it to get brain trauma. Once you're getting paid the big bucks, then maybe you can make an argument that's it's more worth it. But I would say you want to move around. You want to take it's common sense. For me, it's common sense to take the least amount of damage as possible. You don't want to be a dumbass when you're 80. When you're 80, you don't want to slur. You don't want to have slur your words and not be able to take care of yourself.
I like moving around. I would like my fighters to move around. I don't really like that whole stand and trade. I mean, it's crowd pleasing. People enjoy it. People love them. People love those type of fighters. People like those type of fights. Those are fight of the year candidates. But it's just not my thing. Like you said, I think for me as well, it's common sense to not take that much punishment. At the end of the day, health is more important than money. I know that sounds cheesy, but if you don't have health, what's the point of having money? Some of these fights may be boring with these very tactical fighters that move around and throw maybe a punch or two, or like short little combos and win off points. They might be boring, man, but these are the fighters that will have a more long-lasting life. So for me, it's more important to show people the tactical aspect of the sport. It might not be appealing, but it is part of the sport, man. Sometimes you got to show more arsenals, different movements, different tactics, different angles of punches to be able to elevate the sport itself. If we would have just stand toe-to-toe and given you guys wars throughout these years, the sport would have never gotten to how advanced it is right now, where there's different movements, different tactics, footwork that probably in a different era wouldn't even make sense. These shuffles, these side steps, these step throughs, all of these are part of tactics that have come a long way.
Yeah, and you wouldn't get the Conor McGregors and the Lomachenko's that we have nowadays. They're I guess when people talk about Lomachenko, he's the future. He's his nickname's high tech, right? Yeah. So everything's so advanced. But another good point, another example of a fighter that kind of is obviously diminishing is Diego Sanchez. When he was young, when he was in his prime, he had wars with Gilbert Melendez and Clay Guida, and he would take punches. But nowadays, in his last 3 fights, he got knocked out twice by Joe Lozon and Ally Quinta, and it's obvious that his chin's not there anymore. He gets tagged once and he gets dropped. And before, he would be able to take several shots from high-class fighters like Clay Guida and Gilbert Melendez, who they're some of the top lightweights in the world. But nowadays, his last fight, he got starched in the first round. So it's obvious. If you want to have fight of the year like the Gilbert Melendez fight, there's trade-offs. You're gonna take years off your body.
Besides the whole mental aspect, that whole mental beating, it's also the physical beating. A lot of these guys end up with cut up eyebrows, hematomas, rats under their eyes. Like bruised up eyes, broken noses. That's not really a pretty sight to see, and that's not a place that I wouldn't even want to see my fighters in. I want people to fight, good tactical fights. So that's it, right?